Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. I'm going to bring to you a market recap for Monday, July 15th. Let's get into it. The Trump pump is what it is. So we had Apple and Google and Tesla green today. Banks were green. We had different pockets. We had our industrials were green and energy. We had Nvidia and Amazon red overall and Microsoft. So let's kind of dig into it. But before we do that, just want to mention if you want to give me a follow on X at Chargaluri, that would be lovely. So looking at the economic calendar, we have core retail sales tomorrow. Don't have a lot of data coming out tomorrow. We do have earnings this week, however. We have Netflix on Thursday. That'll be the biggest one. So let's get started with ES. What happened today? So we had a look above. We got a new all-time high above Friday's high, and then we quickly got back under. So why did SPY get a new all-time high and then fail so quickly? Well, if we go look at NASDAQ, it helps explain it. So NASDAQ on the 12-hour was unable to get over Thursday's high and set a quick 12-hour lower high. So now we're getting tighter on QQQ, and that prevented SPY from progressing with the new all-time high. Then quickly that money came out of QQQ into different sectors. We saw Nvidia start coming down, Tesla come down. So QQQ, we gave back our big pop over Friday's high and then got a new low of day. The star of the day was definitely the Russell. The Russell's closing up 1.9%. RTY has been on absolute fire. I mean, tickers dream of having a chart looking like this. This has just been super bullish. I had mentioned the last couple of weeks we had this high compression squeeze here on the daily. We broke bull from that in a big way. So I will be keeping this one on back burner watch. Remains very healthy. The Dow remains healthy. It was able to take out Friday's high, and we got a new all-time high today. So we're holding the hourly EMAs. It doesn't look as weak as QQQ did, but it's not quite as strong as the Russell. VIX, we got to pop into the end of the day. We still haven't been able to get over this 1330 area. We now have a triple top in that area, or a quad top, if you will, on the 4-hour, 1326, 1333. And then today we got 1326 and then 1322. So still holding this resistance, but on a pullback, bulls have enough room for a higher low as folks have started hedging into this election and their different positions that have been running pretty hard. You would assume that that would be the reason VIX is up. And Bitcoin gets king and queen honors today. Big pop on Trump pump is what we're calling it. So Trump is generally bullish for crypto. We ran into the daily 50 EMA and we got a double top. On the hourly, we're holding the EMAs just fine, no problem. So I'm keeping this one on back burner watch. If you trade crypto into the evening, I would definitely be keeping Bitcoin on watch and Ethereum. Ethereum got news. The ETF was approved for July 23rd. So we got to pump into the end of day with Ethereum. Then looking at the dollar, we have a quad bottom here on the dollar. On the weekly at 104, 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've hit 104 and held. That prevented gold from progressing its move further. We had a pretty big move up today, but it's a larger retracement than what bulls would have liked. So on the next bounce, bulls will be looking for a potential hourly lower high. Oil in a 4-hour downtrend, daily EQ is getting tighter. We will have API estimates tomorrow and then oil inventory on Wednesday, and that could impact oil as well. Looking at Nvidia, Nvidia got an upgrade this morning but was unable to hold on to the gains and get through 131.92. So we actually closed with a double bottom with Friday's low. So we'll be watching this into tomorrow. I've been calling what Nvidia is doing. This is no man's land for me. I don't have a particular edge. Now going into tomorrow with a double bottom, then I may have an edge there. This still could be a weekly bull flag, but you don't want to see upper wicks of profit taking on your bull flag candles, so that remains to be seen. Nvidia closed pretty heavy today. Apple Apple was able to get a new all-time high. Morgan Stanley mentioned it as its best idea with the upcoming Apple iPhone launch. So it gave Apple a gap up, and they were able to maintain that gap up all day. However, just kind of traded sideways. So it was hard to get any momentum on Apple sideways, but there's nothing bearish about new all-time highs. I continue to say that over and over and over. There's nothing bearish about new all-time highs. Amazon, Bezos accidentally got his finger stuck on the sell button. Of course, I'm just being facetious, but it's really heavy. We have Amazon Prime Days tomorrow and Wednesday, and we were unable to get over Friday's high, and then man, did it really dump today. So Amazon continues to be a short for me until this heaviness exit stage right. Tesla got a pump. Elon endorsed Trump this weekend, and it got a pump at early on with a gap up. It was able to maintain its gap up as well, just barely touching Friday's high. So we'll see if Tesla, what it can do tomorrow. We will likely have a 4-hour equilibrium. We've made enough room for a 4-hour higher low now, and tighter we go. XLF with a new all-time high today. Goldman Sachs had earnings this morning and was bullish, so XLF benefited, and we saw some of that QQQ money rotate into banks. And then Coin, Mara, and CLSK, those were three of the names that benefited from the very large move in Bitcoin that came on the heels of Trump gaining favor this weekend and increasing his chances that he will win the re-election. So on Coin, sorry, I didn't want to get off that chart, that time frame, I should say. On the weekly, we're getting tighter on Coin. This is a good looking chart that we can watch into the end of summer. I love when these squeezes form and we get tighter. It makes for great trading opportunity. Mara was definitely outshining all of the other crypto names that we regularly monitor and closed up near high of day. So this one will definitely be on back burner watch tomorrow. Caterpillar, I shared this idea with you last week. I've shared it in the room a few times, and we really got that continuation over the daily 50 MA we've been looking for. We had this weekly was in a downtrend, but monthly we were looking for a higher low. And last week I shared with you this high compression squeeze that broke bull in a very big way, clearing the daily 50 MA. And I get a lot of questions when names make moves that fast. Where do you exit? Just let your 4-hour EMAs be your spirit guide and stay in long as they're supporting price. Meta, I had a trade on Meta today. Let's see. I exited at 9:24 a.m. Mountain Time from 7:50 to 11:70 in my last scale of calls. And the reason that I was trading Meta is we were looking for a weekly higher low, and a daily higher low. And 4-hour was oversold. If you give me 4-hour oversold looking for daily higher lows, that's going to be my priority trade almost every single time, especially when it's a name that I trade often. So we pushed down at open, and then I exited that last scale at 9:24, and that was right there. That was this candle here. That's when I exited, because we went from 4-hour oversold to 15-minute overbought. I'm going to take those profits every time as well. It's just a nice rule of thumb. And then RUM was an amazing trade that Dan called out to the room. He asked AI who would benefit from JD Vance, what stock would benefit if he were the nominee, because the rumors continued to ramp up that it would be JD Vance. And then he posted in the room, this was 4 hours ago, and this stock just did amazing things. We double topped at 762, 760 on a gap up tomorrow. If we were to have a gap up, I would definitely sell my remaining position on a gap up. We'll see. I have a small position left. RUM was just a great trade. We had members that got 450% profit on that call out from Dan. And then finally, DJT. DJT was unable to clear that 54.49, that initial pop. and then pulled back most of the day. We had this 53.92 back here resistance, and that's where bulls ran into trouble in pre-market and it went sideways. I'm planning to trade this the rest of the week. The volatility was insane today, so giving me scalps in both directions. All right, that is it for the market recap for Monday, July 15th.